Yo, what's up everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day and welcome to today's Pokemon Go discussion video. Alright, so within Pokemon Go right now, we of course have a Team Go Rocket Takeover event that's in conjunction with Adventure Week. And this Team Go Rocket Takeover event has been really hype. There's a brand new Shadow Pokemon that is incredibly valuable, and I'm of course talking about Shadow Conkeldurr. And then of course, it has all the bells and whistles of a typical Team Go Rocket Takeover event. Like there's increased grunt spawns all around you, you have a lot more frequency of Team Go Rocket balloons, and then of course you can remove frustration off of your Shadow Pokemon using TMs, which is a really good bonus. And then on top of that, it's just a lot of fun doing a bunch of Team Go Rocket grunt battles, in my opinion. Like, getting Shadow Pokemon is always really exciting, and then of course this adds a lot of challenge and depth to the game. And I really do think that Niantic should do a lot more Team Go Rocket Takeover events. As of right now, I think we only get them maybe once or twice every season, but in my opinion, I feel like Team Go Rocket Takeover events should happen every single month. Considering that removing frustration off of your Shadow Pokemon is incredibly valuable, especially when it comes to raid battles and PvP, Niantic should give you the ability to do it a lot more often. That's just my own personal opinion. But I don't necessarily want to get more into this. I want to talk about something that used to be a part of Team Go Rocket events that we haven't seen in a very long time. And I'm of course talking about Jessie and James as a part of the Team Go Rocket balloon encounters. This was something that they introduced several years ago, and it was something that I believe was incredibly popular initially when it was released. And a lot of players really enjoyed it, but for some reason, Niantic hasn't gone back to it in a very long time. I want to say the last time Jessie and James was in Pokemon Go, it was maybe about a couple of years ago. I think around the time that the pandemic ended. But even then, I don't think Niantic has ever gone back to them, and I think that's a really big missed opportunity. When it comes to these encounters, yes, it basically is an additional grunt battle with every single balloon encounter that you come across, but I do feel like it added a lot of flavor and depth to the game that the game is currently desperately in needing right now. So how exactly did these encounters work? Well, at the time that they were a part of Pokemon Go, every so often, your Team Go Rocket balloon would actually be a Meowth balloon, and when you tap on it, you would come across both Jessie and James, and they are characters from the Pokemon anime. Big fan favorites. They usually have a lot of different story flavor to them, and I think they always added a lot of really good flavor and complexity to Pokemon Go, even though it was just simply an additional grunt battle. Yeah, there really wasn't too much to them. I mean, aside from getting some unique Shadow Pokemon that could potentially be shiny, you did get an additional component for your Rocket Radars, which was really helpful. But at the same time, I did really enjoy coming across them. It was a lot of, I don't know, just kind of like that random excitement that you would find every now and then with this game. It was just another element of that, and I really do wish it was a permanent feature within Pokemon Go, like it was something that you would occasionally come across. But for some reason, Niantic has refused to do that, and I really cannot figure out why. Like, I think it would be really good for the game if every so often you would come across Jessie and James with those balloon battles. And I think it would be really good for Pokemon Go. I think it would not only add a lot of complexity and depth to the game, but it would definitely cut into a lot of the grind that players might feel when it comes to collecting 12-kilometer eggs as well as getting Rocket Radars. It was very convenient coming across a Meowth balloon back in the day. Like, not only are you getting two components, but you would get additional Shadow Pokemon, and you would also get all the benefits of having two grunt battles in a row, like additional Stardust, additional, I guess, Power Gems if Jessie and James were ever around for that, but they haven't been. I just really cannot understand why, at this point, Niantic hasn't made it a permanent feature in Pokemon Go. I think the game is primed and ready to add more stuff like that. And personally, I feel like the Pokemon Go community would agree. Having a bunch of different interesting elements like that within Pokemon Go to kind of break up the general gameplay would definitely be popular, in my opinion. I mean, the game is getting kind of stale, let's be real here. Like, you're pretty much doing the exact same activities every single day. The game is essentially a game of chores at this point. you're doing a bunch of raids for resources. You use those resources to power up certain Pokemon so that you could do more raids. And then of course, there's just the gameplay loop of just going out and catching Pokemon. There really isn't much that breaks this sort of gameplay loop every single day. You're doing a lot of the same stuff all the time. And I think adding a little bit of flavor like this here and there would definitely make the game a lot better. It would definitely benefit the game by a lot. And it's a very simple thing. Just have it be an RNG encounter. Every so often, you might come across a Meowth balloon. It's in the game code. It's one of the potential encounters. You can give them some very specific and very unique different pools of shadow Pokemon that you can come across, and I think it would be really good for the game. Personally speaking, I'm really surprised that Niantic has not done this at this point. Because let me tell you, right now I'm doing a lot of grinding when it comes to these Team Go Rocket grunt battles because I want to get myself a good IV Shadow Conkeldurr. That's bar none been my big goal for this Team Go Rocket takeover event. And the big problem is farming up those components can be really tough, even if there's just an increased number of grunt battles everywhere. Like, I really want there to be some sort of way to speed it up, and I think encountering Meowth balloons every so often would definitely do that. And I do think it's something that Niantic should consider. Like, even for just Team Go Rocket takeover events, maybe they would have the Meowth balloons be part of the balloon spawns. Or maybe they would just have it as a permanent feature and it's just a super rare chance that you would ever encounter them. Like, I don't know what they could do, but they really couldn't go wrong if they were to add Jessie and James as a permanent feature. I just cannot understand at this point why they're just missing from the game for such a long time. Niantic put in a lot of work to create the models for Jessie and James, to push them into the game, like doing a lot of promotions for them, and then also just adding a lot of the dialogue options and all of the battle elements of coming across Jessie and James. Like, they did a lot of work coding them into the game, so why are they not bringing them back into the game? Maybe there's some sort of licensing thing with Nintendo, which is the reason why. I really cannot wrap my mind around it. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I think it's a huge missed opportunity at this point because, like I said, Pokemon Go is feeling quite stale, and for them to add Jessie and James encounters back into Pokemon Go, it would definitely switch things up. It would definitely make the gameplay feel just a little bit more interesting because, for me personally, some of the joys of Pokemon Go is all of the random encounters. Occasionally when you come across, let's say, like a third evolved stage Pokemon like Tyranitar or Salamence in the wild, it definitely creates a sense of some random excitement, and I think that's one of the joys of Pokemon Go. And having Jessie and James balloons be occasional balloon spawns would definitely be another element of that. So I really think this is something Niantic should consider. It's something that they should definitely look into. Having Jessie and James as random encounters for Team Go Rocket balloons, I think would be a huge benefit to Pokemon Go. And I really hope more people in the community will agree with me. So yeah, that's my pitch for Pokemon Go's current gameplay. It's not necessarily a big thing. Again, it's just basically 2 grunt battles for the price of 1. Like, there's nothing really else to it. You're not getting any special items, you're not getting that much more special Shadow Pokemon, although I think at one point you can get Shadow Scyther from these battles, and that was actually pretty hype. But even then, like, it's just something that they could add to Pokemon Go. It wouldn't require much, and I think it would just add another element of random excitement, and I think that would be a really good thing for the game, and I'm really sad and disappointed that it isn't a part of the game. But yeah, in any case, these are just some of my thoughts that I've been thinking about regarding this Team Go Rocket takeover event. Like, yeah, the big thing that's missing, and it has been missing for a very long time, is Jessie and James, and hopefully we'll see them return to the game really soon. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding Jessie and James down below. Are you one of the players that miss these encounters, or do you just simply do not care for them? I would like to know your reasons why. So definitely say that stuff in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. And let's go over the end of the video spiel right now. If you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are here for the very first time. And don't forget that notification bell as well. And I want to give a shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the content of the channel, the absolute best way you could do so is, of course, joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. And I will prioritize you for remote raids and the friendship system. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, go and check out my Patreon, the links to which are in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a different way that doesn't involve spending money, then you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I will catch you all later.
진솔아와 함께해